So I'm Robbie Schaack. I live in Texas. For my day job, I'm actually a dentist, but one of my passions and side hobbies is helping empower youth, especially youth in the foster system, with tools that can empower them to live a more joyful, successful, and fulfilling life. So I'm going to start by sharing something personal with you. I have here a juicy journal entry I wrote when I was 15 years old of my vision for my future. Okay, here it is. My prediction of the rest of my life. I am going to have not very much money. I am not going to be happy. I am going to have a job that I don't enjoy a lot. I will not be very good looking. I will not be of much influence to youth or anybody. I won't have a hot wife, and especially she won't be good looking when she's 35. I will not be having a fun, enjoyable life like I would like to have. All expectations I have had, none will succeed. There you go. I'm sharing this with you for a few reasons. If you ever feel discouraged about your life, I want you to know this is totally normal. If you sometimes feel hopeless about your future, you're not alone. It's normal at times to feel like your life is effed up. By effed up, what I mean is that it's fogged up. What you're seeing ahead of you doesn't look bright and beautiful. The second reason I share this personal journal entry with you is because I want you to know that every single one of these predictions 20 years later now have turned out the opposite way, and that all these things I was convinced would not be possible for me have now come to pass, and in even bigger and better ways than I could have imagined when I was 15. Okay, my wife just turned 35. We've been married 15 years already. And by the way, I've only been making a paycheck for the last 7 of those years. So I think it's worth noting I scored this pretty wife even many years before I started making any money. I'm proud of the fact that I didn't have to get rich first, right? All right, so your life seems effed up. No big deal. We can take that same place, your same person, your same life, and make it sunny and beautiful. By the way, these are just photos I took from my phone from Montlake Bridge in Seattle, Washington, where I did some of my medical training. So, all right, how do we do this? We all know Michael Phelps, the most successful Olympian of all time with 28 Olympic gold medals. What you may not know about him is that when he was a younger kid, his trainer taught him how to visualize his future. He learned to do a daily routine they called watching the videotape, where he would visualize in his head every moment of his future race from start to finish, long before it would ever happen. So get this, during a 200-meter butterfly race in the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, China, his goggles completely filled up with water in the first 25 meters. It was the first stretch, 7 more to go, and he couldn't see a thing. Can you imagine, right? You've been training your whole life for something, and then right in this moment, this happens. One of the most important races of his life was effed up, literally fogged up. Have you ever had situations in your life where important events didn't go as you hoped or planned? You felt like maybe your life was effed up. So what's this tool that you can use to get through the fog? What did Phelps do? Instead of panicking or focusing on his problem, his previous training of visualizing his future allowed him to focus on exactly how he had visualized himself doing this race. He had already visualized how he would swim this race so clearly that even though he couldn't see anything, by playing that videotape in his head, he was able to still win both a gold medal and break the world record in that very race. So that's the power of having a clear vision of your future. And there's strong psychology research now that says what you believe about your future actually has a stronger influence in shaping the type of person you are than what has happened to you in your past. I'm going to repeat that one more time. So what you believe about your future has a stronger influence in shaping who you are than what has happened to you in your past. As you develop a vision for your future self, your subconscious brain, your behavior, your life will actually start to change to become that person. So here's what's up. Just like Michael Phelps did, you get to create your own future. And if we want our future to be awesome, we're going to create a clear vision of who our future self is. So I have a tool to guide you through this. There is a handout for you. You can get this right now, or if you don't want to switch screens or lose focus, you can just screenshot this and do it afterwards. But just text vision to this number. It's going to send you a file. You can print it, but it might be even easier to just download and open it with Google Drive or Google Docs. You can just edit it right on your device. If you have any technical difficulties, don't worry, we'll make sure you get it. But this will give you the key questions to think about and answer for 3 of the most important aspects of your future. What your values will be, what your future relationships will look like, going along with what Francesca just taught us, and what your future career will look like. This will help you create a clear vision for your future. You can use this tool for any future time frame you want, but today what I'm recommending you do is that you go at least 10 years into the future. You could do 15 or even 20 years out if you really want to, but 10 years is a great place to start because that's enough time out that you can look at your future as a blank page, right? So where you actually have time to create what you really want for yourself without feeling restricted by your past or present circumstances. I know what you're already thinking, right? Come on, man, you're out of your mind, Mr. Robbie. You are so out of touch with my reality. I'm not worried about 10 years from now. I'm worried about 10 days from now. I don't know where I'm going to live next month. I don't even know if I'm going to have a roof over my head. How can I even begin to think about 10 years from now? Listen, I get it. If you trust me, go through this. It's going to empower you through the challenges you're working through next week and next month. By doing this, one thing that's going to happen is you're going to make better decisions right now in the present because you'll be making decisions based on what your future self will prefer versus what your present self right now would prefer. I love this quote by Dan Sullivan. The only way to make your present better is by making your future bigger. So if you're serious about creating an awesome future, you're going to want to actually write these answers out. There's research to back this up. If you actually write it out, you increase the likelihood of it coming to pass because we don't always look where we are going, but we will always go where we are looking. Here's the other fun thing. Your future is totally flexible. So as you evolve as a person, what you want to create with your future will evolve and change. And just as you have the power to create it now, you have the power to keep recreating it continually throughout your life. The more you realize that you really actually do have the power and freedom to choose the type of person you want your future self to be and the type of life you want, life gets really fun. You won't need mind-altering substances to escape from life. You'll be supplying your brain with your own dopamine and endorphins because instead of trying to escape from your life, you're going to be eating up the life that you're creating. Listen, life is not perfect. Life is not easy, but life is good. It's good because you get to create it. Okay, let's do this. Now, you'll have this handout to help guide you, so you can invest more time into this, but if you're hearing all this and you actually want to spend more time with me to coach you on your future more personally, put your name in the chat right now, and you'll be entered into a chance to win private coaching sessions. All right, this is my beautiful family, all girls. I'm always outnumbered, but I am a lucky guy. I have to tell you, there is nothing in this world I love more than being a dad. I wish there was a way I could be everyone's dad, but since that's not possible, I'd love to at least be part of this journey with you in any way I can. So if you ever want any dad advice or have any questions for me, just reach out to me anytime. Well, huge thanks to amazing people with the Felix organization, Music is Unity, the Purple Project, for putting on this awesome event, letting me connect with you. Your future is bright. I love you. I believe in you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robbie, for that amazing presentation. If we could stop sharing it so that we can both share the screen together. I've got some really great questions that I want to ask you. All right, and as we're stop sharing the screen, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my questions. Now, first of all, we just want to say thank you for offering those great tips for envisioning a brighter and more hopeful present and future. The first question is, how do you work through the fear of failing?
The one way to work through the fear of failing is to first decide with yourself that you are comfortable. You're going to choose to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so it's someone mentioned it earlier today that they want to, or I think it was you, Candy, talked about getting uncomfortable and doing things that take you out of your comfort zone. And there is always going to be risk inherently built into everything you do in life. And the best way to discover your purpose and your place in life where you can make the highest contribution is by trying new things. And anytime you fail, that's an opportunity for learning and growth. So failure is not a negative thing. We can embrace the learning and the growth with that, and it can be a stepping stone.
I'm so glad you said that. I agree 100%. Like our society has made failing such a bad thing, but when I think about the things that didn't necessarily go the way that I wanted to in my life, they're the things, those lessons stick the most. So thank you so much for saying that. And my last question for you is what is a specific skill or habit you believe is helpful for success?
I would. So you've got this vision of your future. I would get into a habit or practice of finding people who best or closest resemble that aspects of that future self that you're envisioning for yourself, and spend as much time with them as you can. If you can't, if it's someone who you can't spend time with, reach out to them and interview them, ask them questions, and search out those people who emulate and exemplify aspects of your future self that you want for yourself. Ask them questions, spend time with them.
I love that. That is great advice. I'm a firm believer of study who you want to be. 100%. And if you can't reach out to them, I'm pretty sure you can look them up on YouTube. Like I probably listen to Oprah every day. I feel like there's so much information online with the internet, with YouTube. So I think that's absolutely amazing advice. Study who you want to be, study the person that you want to be, reach out, informational interviews. That's another thing. Literally, I believe that's exactly what you're saying. Reach out to somebody and, say, hey, I want to learn about the job that you have. And, mentorship. That's another big one. So again, thank you so much, Robbie. It's been a pleasure having you with us. Can we please show Robbie some love, everybody? Can we have some virtual claps, please?